Animal Crossing is a game that has given Nintendo quite a bit of history. From the Nintendo 64 all the way to the newest Nintendo Switch. Smash is a game about including all of Nintendo's history as much as realistically possible, and Animal Crossing sure has some good points. Even all the way back to when it was considered a future release. In the present day, we think nothing of it. Villager and Isabelle are the two characters to represent Animal Crossing, from the types of moves they use to the expressions shown through their combat. It's a little hard to realize that these characters were once denied playability because they didn't fit the Smash Bros. Motif. Kinda weird considering you have Kirby kicking the hell out of Sonic the Hedgehog. Nintendo always wanted to have Villager be a playable character since the Brawl era, even including him in the background of the Animal Crossing stages, but Sakurai never saw him as suited for battle. Instead, Animal Crossing was represented through items, stages, music, and background characters. Until that was all thrown away in Smash 4, and Villager was ready to kill. But my question is, how did Animal Crossing find its way into Smash Bros? Every item, stage, character, what do they represent? I wanted to go through each of the assets throughout Smash's history, and break down what each nod to Animal Crossing represents for its franchise, starting where it all began. In the beginning, there was Smash 64. Mario vs. Link, Pikachu vs. Kirby, lots of stages to choose from, many different items. Nintendo's flagship franchises are all ready to duke it out among each other. All the while, Animal Crossing was not there. Animal Crossing wasn't there. The Japanese N64 version didn't exist until 2001. This game was 1999. Really not a lot to say about Smash 64. Villager hardly had any polygons. So then the next beginning, Melee. All the same fun, more characters, items, stages. I'm gonna save you the time, Villager isn't here either. But this is actually where the recognition started for Nintendo. Going deep into the trophy list, there are trophies for Animal Crossing. But not only are the names and the models used from the 2001 Japanese release, the game wasn't even out yet on the GameCube, labeled as Future Release on the title card. Really not a whole lot to look at here. The characters are given a basic rundown and descriptions. There are some design changes here and there, but overall, everything is about the same. You might not recognize that KK Slider is still referred to by his full or otherwise known Japanese name, but otherwise it's still the same dog that we know. As for anything else, this was all Melee had to offer. Animal Crossing was still known as Dobutsu no Mori to the world, and it only had the one release on the Nintendo 64. Locked to Japan. As the years went on, there were many more Animal Crossing games. GameCube, Wild World, City Folk. The franchise's popularity is rapidly rising. Many new fans and players from all over enjoying the game year after year. But there's no new Smash. Then when Brawl came out, a lot had changed. Enter Brawl. New HD, for the time. Look, new characters from many different Nintendo and even some outsider franchises. There's still no Animal Crossing character to use, but there's plenty of items, a new stage, music, and background characters to go over. The easiest to start with is the stages themselves. First you have Smashville, one of the most popular stages of all time. Based off of Wild World, you'll immediately get that Animal Crossing feel right off the bat. The atmosphere, the pixelated background, small and homey, perfectly representing your typical Animal Crossing experience. You'll see characters like the Nooklings, Able Sisters, Basic Villagers, and many others. The time of day will always be something different, even sometimes special events happening like KK Slider showing up to play while you fight, or an alien invasion going on in the background. This stage perfectly embodies what Wild World had to offer, and was even carried throughout the rest of Smash to this day, keeping the same feel, but updating the graphics and sounds for modern times and to help represent some of the more modern games. As for the items, Brawl brought us the Pitfall Seed, doing exactly what it does in Animal Crossing by simply burying the other players in the ground until they're able to jiggle themselves free.
Help me please, I beg.
Though this is a bit different from how Animal Crossing does it, as once it's buried in Smash, you can't see it at all. It can also be used to spike opponents in the air. Don't know what that has to do with Animal Crossing, but hey, who cares? Then for assist trophies, we got Mr. Rossetti, who does what he does best and yells at you to shame you for everything you've done, bringing dishonor and regret upon you, your family, and your entire bloodline. Rossetti is ruthless and will never stop. He's gone now. As for music, you have tracks from both GameCube and Wild World, helping fit the mood. Villager himself isn't in the game due to what I mentioned earlier about Sakurai saying he was originally planned but wasn't suited for battle, until Smash 4 came along. Enter Smash 4. The Villager joins the battle. Everyone is hyped. He's ready to kill. And a new era of Smash has begun. Except now it's split between two consoles. One looks pretty good. The other looks like you turn the outline function up to 400 pixels. Regardless, while each version plays identically, there are some differences between them. But first, let's talk about the Villager himself. Here, representing all of the iterations of Animal Crossing, but resembling Wild World throughout all of his alternate colors and outfits. This character oozes the game in all of his moves, even down to his non-attacking animations, where he goes through the idle where he's thinking, his running, his skidding, and more. I'm gonna go through it all. Don't worry, I'll try and make it quick. The Villager revolves around running and moving around, collecting items, and utilizing those same items in any manner you choose, along with using the gear and tools already at your disposal. Not only can he take and pocket any item you throw at him, he can dish it back, and harder. He's got all of his tools at his disposal. Net, slingshot, axe, shovel, and more. Villager can also plant a tree and choose to chop it down if they please. Plus, on occasion, chopping down the tree can give you items to utilize, like a block of wood, and an even more rare fruit that will fall out. You've got the turnips coming in all different quantities and prices, a stick he found somewhere on the ground, a bowling ball that was possibly found at a completely different town on his travels.
I'm slowing you down, am I?
Some fireworks for celebration, boxing gloves from Happy Home Designer, a flower pot he bought at the store, balloons from the Sky Presents, and Balloon Fight, which actually, if you go over to the Masterpieces section, you'll see it represented by Villager. Plus, it was playable on the GameCube version, which helps tie in the whole reference. He has the gyroid that helps him with his town and projects, and cartwheel flip? Okay. And for the final smash, it's you finally paying off all that debt and building your dream home with Tom Nook's help. Either way, this character has it all, and the playstyle of Animal Crossing fits to a T. Never inherently being violent or attacking, but rather the opponent being in the villagers' way as they try to tend to the town and their villagers. As for the town, Smash 4 also introduced 2 more Animal Crossing stages, and plenty more music from all the new games in the franchise. Town and City was introduced and based off of City Folk. While it has a similar functionality to Smashville in terms of representation, it's still pretty cool. You start off in the town, and then as time goes on, you take a bus ride over to the city, seeing all the different stores and characters that City Folk had to offer. The 3DS version also brought Tortimer's Island, a recreation of the exotic island you visited in New Leaf. There's plenty of water, which for some reason you can swim in the Switch version, but not on the 3DS version. Captain will visit to take you on his boat. Sometimes wildlife will show up.
Darn.
You'll see different items and fruits.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And the layout of the island is different each time you visit. It's a very nice recreation and really helps give the feel of what New Leaf had to offer on Tortimer's Island. In terms of items, Smash 4 didn't add many, and it actually replaced Rossetti with Isabelle. Isabelle will throw out fruits, trying to help you as best as possible, just like the actual character. And for other items, there was the beehive that normally drops from trees when you shake them. For extra content, there's just the trophies, which there are a lot more of from Melee to Brawl, all with updated textures, models, and descriptions, and adding many more characters from all the games thus far. Now moving on to Ultimate, Animal Crossing is now one of Nintendo's biggest flagship franchises. Villager is here, all of the Smash 4 stages are now in Ultimate, Isabelle joins the battle, representing the new era of games, and also the fact that she's become the Animal Crossing mascot really solidified that Animal Crossing was here, and here to stay. I'm not going to go over Isabelle's entire moveset and design, because I've already made several videos about her. You could watch them, perhaps. Ultimate is essentially the upgraded version of Smash 4, so it didn't add a whole lot, considering Animal Crossing had already peaked at New Leaf, and New Horizons hadn't come out yet. Some of the villagers' costumes had changed skin tones to help reflect New Horizons coming out, and the Captain Bus from City Folk was added as an assist trophy, ready to carry you off to a different land. By force. Other than adding new music and some graphical upgrades, Ultimate is, as of right now, the peak for Animal Crossing, and it's interesting to see all of the things added until this point. Spirits are now replacements for trophies, so while serving a similar purpose, they have different functionalities. Each character as a spirit now having a sort of representation of that character through what is currently playable. Everything from Animal Crossing that wasn't already removed or changed stayed as is, and very little was added because mostly everything had already been done. That takes us through the Animal Crossing history with all of Smash Bros. Thus far. I didn't dwell too far into the development cycle, but rather took a look at what has changed and what has been added. Animal Crossing has been a big part of Nintendo's history, and it's been fun to see how they've chosen to represent that history throughout Smash. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, why not drop a like and subscribe? I'll catch you all in the next one.